It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renas Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves. We've reached our destination.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renins inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renins to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renins have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Yes!
Excuse me!
Hey!
Really now?
What?
I see. Agreed.
Very nice.
Dohalim? The line of researchers is getting longer.
Perhaps I should have put more thought into this before accepting.
Looks like we made it here in one piece. Right!
Saxleo Temple. Isn't that where Shion was being held?
Shh! Wasn't it beautiful? I can't wait for this!
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but... You sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, You know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but... I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard! never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Just great.
Cheers.
Cheers! What? Nice try, you two. Better luck next time.
Never. Why?
Wait, something's wrong.
I couldn't catch it. I'll always be alone. How could I? Oh, please. I'm so lonely.
Oh no. This is just like what happened before. Alphen!
I'm alone. I'm all alone.
What can I do to get her to snap out of it? There aren't any thorns this time. Oh, I've got it!
Alphen?
Shion, you're not alone. You've got all of us. And it wasn't just one bouquet either. There's also this one from me. So please, don't give up. We'll fight this together. Shion!
You dummy! That's not what I was upset about. How many times do I need to tell you not to blindly rush into things? That said, it does make me feel better. Even if your bouquet is just a weapon named after one.
I'm just glad I could help. And I made another one to go with it, so it wouldn't be lonely either.
You never cease to amaze me, Alphen. Seriously.
Feeling better now, Shion?
I'm sorry I lost my cool like that.
Don't worry. It's not like I have any room for criticism.
Being a grown-up isn't easy, is it?
We've reached our destination.
Hey.
Yes.
Just great.
How's this?
Got it.
Hey! Yay!
All right. I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head's spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know! I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Xion, stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Welcome back, Law.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Yeah! Hey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah! Just great.
I guess... Thanks.
Huh?
Well... All right.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I guess. Got it.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zoogle in that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter? Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
I've got a bad feeling about this one.
Me too. Better keep our distance. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Take this!
Bet that shell's hiding something tasty.
Take this!
The flashing part's their weak point.
Hurricane Thrust! Soaring Light Spear!
All back in their defense!
Outstanding form.
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Blow away!
It's in your hands now.
You'll pay for that!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation! I'll heal you all.
No rest for the wicked.
Can
you take it?
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
The tempest engulfs you! Spirits within the
Still got
soil.
some fight left in me.
Awaken and
Lunar
wreak
corruption!
havoc. It's time.
Lunar
Blow
blast!
away!
Raging cascade!
Burn it up!
Double that! Annihilation!
Raining Slash!
Blah, blah, blah.
Soaring Light Spear!
There you go! Don't let up!
You are bloody.
Leave the enemy's arch to me!
No complaints here!
Waterfall! Breeze Lancer! Hands in the wind! Air thrust! My last note! Arch field!
In a bind?
Lightning orb!
Begin!
Cancer field! Not on my watch! Let me help! What would I do without
Take
you?
this!
Let's go! Here!
Raining Slash!
Radiant light! Here!
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Soaring Light Spear! Hurricane Thrust! Burn in hell!
Resonate with the earth. Not now. Not ever.
Raining Slash!
Here's evil!
Blow away! Raining Slash!
A whirling trouble!
Raining
Winds of heaven! First form! Cyclone! Dance in the wind! Weather wheel!
Sorry to trouble you.
Here goes!
Raining Slash!
Between heaven and earth!
Blow away!
Cascading!
Raining Slash!
Here goes!
Blow away! Crush!
Burning strike!
Bloody howler!
Raining Slash!
Freeze Lancer!
Raining Slash!
Steel!
Down!
Here, let me help! Let's get you all tucked away!
Okay, here I go!
Rain down and
Blow
pierce
away!
all! Lunar
Destruction!
corruption!
Rising Wyvern!
Gemini
Hurrah!
Alpha! Meteor
Double
Storm!
Demon Fang!
Searing Flame!
Eternal
Reload!
devastation! I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire!
Haley! Fury! Burning Strike!
Raining Slash! Hit
Lunar
power!
Call! Magic Attack! Spread! Freeze Lancer!
Blow away!
Burning Air Thrust!
Raining Slash!
Here's evil!
Wide open!
It won't escape me.
Raining Slash!
Heaven and earth!
Destruction! Rising Wyvern!
Good dreams.
Take this! Tempt it!
Crush! Blow away! Destruction! Rising
Really
Wyvern!
performing.
Crush! Hurricane Thrust!
Anything in armor is all mine.
Devastation! Not today!
Here's a healing arc.
Elusive deity!
Together.
Take it!
Pile driver!
Strike!
Mega Ray.
Tear! You're finished! Go!
Onward.
Carve through armor!
Finish without a trace.
Air pressure!
Raging storm. Lightning. Celestial harvester coming through.
Here I come!
Heal my weary companion!
Blow away!
Not on my watch.
Raining Thrust!
Glacial Spear. It's a weird
Blow
thing.
away!
Air thrust.
Destruction! Rising Wyvern! Tear! Hurricane Thrust!
It looks like you got this one covered.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
It's over!
Cyclone. Air thrust.
It's go time!
Here's a healing arc. First aid.
Raining Slash!
Here's the purge.
Blow away!
Lunar blast.
Blow away! Take this!
Here's a healing arc. First aid.
Raining
Get your away. There.
Smite with blazing blade!
Tempest swirl. More without me. Arc seal.
Not today!
Illuminate the dark. My healing arc to accomplish this.
Raining Slash! Blow away!
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Lightning to the shadows. Confiscated. Mega Red.
Elusive deity! Here I come! Rising Wyvern!
Tornado drive!
Crush! Hurricane Thrust!
Between heaven and earth. Now.
Devastation! Chill!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! Here I come!
Begin! The tempest and
Blow away!
Lunar corruption.
Destruction!
Dance in the wind. Lunar
Double
blast.
demon
Air
bang!
thrust. A whirling following.
Watch yourself! Sense incredible power!
It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone! The flame inside me! To be let free!
This'll come in handy. Hit. Whoa. Hey, one at a time. Here goes. Arcade waterfall. Let's get you all tucked away. A whirling trouble. First force.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love resuscitation!
Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too.
Crush!
Need to pull myself together.
Your move!
Here, let me help.
Stay away from my friend! Blow away! Blow away! Rising Wyvern! Your move! This one's all mine! Burn in hell!
Here,
Take it! No escape! Tear! Hurricane Thrust! You're out!
They're not playing around.
Armor won't save you!
That move!
Rending you a
Here comes the big one!
spirits within the soil.
Raging storm! Photon blast!
I could do without this pain.
Confiscated! Illuminate the dark!
Okay, here I go.
Thanks, Seal.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I couldn't make it in time. Regenerate!
Now I can let loose. Here you are.
I've still got some fight left in me.
Ready and ready. I'll blind you with a this time. Raining fire! Eat dirt! No escape! Blow away!
Radiant light! Force of
Double
regeneration!
demon fang! Dragon knife! Can't move!
Don't leave me!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love resuscitation!
Anything in armor is...
Hold on!
I owe you one.
Take care of...
Resonate with you! Stalagmite!
Take this! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
I'm not done! Bloody Crush! On your double demon fang! Crush! Air pressure! It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out!
Try harder! Not a chance! I'm not...
Glacial
I can carve through armor! Elusive deity!
My reach is even wider.
Try harder! You're mine!
Healing over!
Crush! Raining flash!
I owe you, Kiana. Healing is what my arts do best.
I've been
All
hit
mine
with
can do
something!
is cause havoc and
So
destruction.
even a masochist has his limits.
No! Feeling so great. Eat this! Try harder! My turn! My turn!
Thank you for the healing, Dohalim.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Raining flash!
No one's dying on our watch.
I'm not done! Radiant blow away!
Anything in armor is all right!
Feel my weary what I can do! Raining flash! Here I come! Rending you apart! You're finished! Rising wyvern! Here I come! Tear! Hurricane thrust! Can't move!
Don't give up!
My pride was my downfall.
Anything in armor is all
Eagle ray!
Into the shadow!
Such unadulterated skill.
Showtime!
Can you take it?
Here's the raging explosion!
Benediction light.
Try harder!
Allow me to help.
By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace! Cyclone! One more time!
Might is black and blade! Try harder! My turn! Here I come! No escape! It's over! I'll smash you! Rending you apart! Bloody holiday! We got him on the run!
Don't get cocky!
Right. Still anyone's fight.
Radiant light!
Force of regeneration! Regenerate! From beyond.
Sorry, I didn't want to put you out.
What our friends for, we can't depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
Thanks. Blow away!
I won't give up!
Get you!
Thunder field!
Stay away from my friend!
Here goes! Who cares?
This has a most peculiar taste.
Demon blast! Lunar
You're
corruption!
Try harder! It's on!
Lunar blast! I'm all stopped up! What the?
Beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love resuscitation. Throbs in pain.
The enemy is going all out!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love.
Try harder! Not a chance! Strike! Here I come! I'm nearly done for. Burn!
No further.
I'm not done!
A wailing banshee of lightning!
Rain flash!
If it's in the sky,
Now you see what I can do!
just what the doctor ordered! Lightning! Raise the healing aid! First aid!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Bloody
Winds of heaven! First field! Here's a healing arc! Now there with aid!
I can't move!
Radiant starting with magic is there! I won't give up! I can do this all day! Who cares?
Shattering of pieces! Attack time!
Imbue this vanquished soul with life.
Here I come! Blow away!
What was I thinking?
You're my... Try harder! Not a chance!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Stop!
Resuscitation!
No rest for the wicked. Such unadulterated fury.
Try harder! Not a chance!
Gonna smart. Searing flame, reload!
Shattering to pieces! Attack time!
You apart! You're mine! Not today! You're mine!
Here goes! Healing circle!
Take this!
Back into the searing tempest! And
Soaring light spear!
Raging pure! Flame of stars! Burning! Take that! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Tunnel! Sorry! Resuscitation! What's that? Ready to go!
From beyond, imbue this
On the
sacred
ground!
soul with light!
Annihilation!
Take this! Resuscitation! Blow away! Crush!
I still got some
Double
fight left in me.
Stevenite! Can't move! Radiant light!
Raging
Regenerate!
Glacial Spear!
Regenerate!
Pierce
Another
evil!
incantation ruined.
Freeze blade! Illuminate the dark! Come already! Holy land!
Negative gate!
There!
Unadulterated fury.
Sealed!
Air pressure!
Holy...
Not done yet.
Came between heaven and earth! Lunar corruption! A wailing banshee of aqua! Divine barrier!
Ready and ready!
Air drop! Finish without a trace! I'll bring you back from death. Hard Goblin! I'll bring you back from death. Freeze Lancer! Dance in the wind!
Through armor!
I'll bring you back from death to death!
No escape! Rain slash! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Huh? What's a letter doing in a place like this?
Hell if I know. I highly doubt that Zoogle was trying to guard it. Still, somebody must have left it for some...
Law.
Huh? What's up?
Something up?
It's from my old man. My dear son, I wonder how things will be between us by the time you read this.
In any case, I first want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished. Making it this far requires a strong body, fine technique, an unwavering spirit, and most of all, friends that you can count on. If you have all of that, then I, as your father, have nothing to worry about. Those things together will always keep you on the right path. That brings me to what I really wish to discuss with you. As with all of us, there will someday come a time when you'll be a grown man who can and must think and act for himself. Whether you'll live in a world where blood will no longer be spilled between Danins and Renins, or when that day arrives, nobody can say. But even if peace still eludes us then, you'll have to decide how to live in this world. Listen to others with an open heart, but don't be swept away by their words. Always live on your terms. One more thing. If I ever see you again, I hope to say this to you in person, but neither of us knows what tomorrow may bring. Know this. Whatever you think of me, and what I've done, your mother and I love you very, very much.
And there's nothing in this whole world that will ever change that. Your father, Zephyr.
Zephyr.
I can't believe he's only telling me all this after he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this?
Zephyr once told me that living freely meant being your own master. I think he wanted to make sure you know how he felt one way or another. What you do with that knowledge is up to you.
But that still doesn't explain why his father left that letter for him here, of all places.
Don't forget, we were led to this place. We may well get some answers if we go back to the source of all this.
We finally made it.
Hey.
Hey.
I guess... No way. Damn. Whew.
All right.
This is...
Thanks.
You okay, Law? You seem kind of quiet.
I'm fine. Just feels a little weird returning home now that my dad's not here, I guess. Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out too.
So I guess that means you'll be visiting your dad's grave while you're here. Right, Law?
His grave? What are you, nuts? There is no grave. The Rena would only destroy it the moment they found it.
Back before Calaglia was liberated, dead slaves would be dumped in mass burial sites. Either that or thrown on top of a bonfire. We got used to cremating our own to deny them the pleasure. Then we'd sprinkle the ashes from high up as a way of returning them to the motherland.
It's all we could do. That's the ceremony we had when my mom died, too.
But that was back then, right? Calaglia is liberated now. there's nothing to stop you from raising a true grave anymore.
I suppose you've got a point. Once you've been doing something for generations, though, it sort of begins to take root. It's a tradition of its own now.
My dad wouldn't want that anyway. Cheap and simple, he'd say. Besides, I can't treat him differently than my mom. They might not end up meeting on the other side.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow, imagine. The two of them reunited, back home where they belong. They're probably watching over us right now, at one with great Dana. There's something almost poetic about it.
That's why I can't afford to screw up. If I know my pops, something as paltry as death won't stop him from coming to box my ears. Still, better than being left alone, I guess. Better than never knowing. You hear that, Dad? I'll make you proud. You'll see.